Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Jav. If you can see me and hear me, please drop me a 777 in the chat box. I am waiting for more people to turn up on the call, but I'm going to make a start anyway. Thank you, Mandeep. Thank you, all her. So again, my name is Dr. Jav. I'm a forex and cryptocurrency trader. I am not going to lock the waiting room to allow people to join as and when. I've had quite a few people come back to me to say that they'll be joining late, but that's okay. Welcome, Andy, to the call. So again, my name is Dr. Jav. I'm a forex and cryptocurrency trader. I've been trading now for several years. Now, I want to make it clear from the outset of this presentation that you will not become an expert trader at the end of this presentation. This webinar is only meant to be a beginner's introduction to trading. And by the end of this presentation, you will know exactly what to do to enable you to get started trading the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world. So like I said earlier, my name is Dr. Jav. I've been trading now for several years. And a little bit about myself. Now, my background has been very, very corporate. I've been working in the City of London for several years. And prior to that, I was told from a very, very young age to go to school, get a good education, to get a good job. And I did that. From the outset, I followed those rules. I went to school. I got a very, very good education, was traditionally in the top 5% of my class. I went to university for a long, long time, got a fair few degrees there as well. And once I left university, I started my first job. Now, my first job out of university, in all honesty, I hated it. I hated my first job out of university to the point that I decided on the first day of the first job, my first job in corporate, that I would never, ever work for anyone. And I decided to resign that position. But the only reason I continued in that job was because I had bills to pay. Now, obviously, after university, we have bills to pay. Many, many people leave university with debts in excess of £50,000 if you're based in the UK. So I stayed in that job for a few years. And then finally, I took the courage and left that job. Now, when I left that job, I bought a ticket to Australia. And at the airport, at Heathrow Airport, I came across the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki. If you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, please make a note of his name, because that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, was my first introduction to business. I say practical business, because prior to that, I'd studied business in various forms at university, but in all honesty, the theory does not match the practical aspects, certainly when you have your own business. I read that book cover to cover on my flight to Australia. When I came back to the UK, I was a property millionaire within 3 years. Within 3 years on my return to the UK, I was a property millionaire, and I had properties all over, not just the UK, but internationally as well. Now, following that, I started to dabble in the markets. I started off with the stock market, and then following that, after a few years of making some money and losing some as well, I started learning about cryptocurrencies and also foreign exchange. And since then, I have not looked back. Now, Robert Kiyosaki introduced me to the cash flow quadrant. As you can see on the screen here, that pie chart is the cash flow quadrant, and that basically tells us that 95% of the world population is broke. 95% of 7.8 billion people, which comes to around 7.4 billion, are effectively broke. They have more month at the end of the money every single month. If you want to be financially free, and I'm glad to say I'm financially free, as is my colleague Mandeep, who will be on this call later on, and we form the 5%. We are both investors and business owners, and the 5% of the world population control or own more wealth than the 95% collectively. If you want to be financially free today, you have to be within that 5%. And the good news is, as foreign exchange traders, as cryptocurrency traders, again, we form that 5%. Now, when it comes to foreign exchange, the forex market in its simplest form is the exchange of one currency for another. Let me give you an example. If you were to go to the USA from the UK and change your pounds for your dollars, you will have taken part in the foreign exchange market. If you go back to that exchange at a later date or time, you may be offered a different exchange rate. It's that difference in exchange rates that we as foreign exchange traders utilize and profit from on a daily basis. As long as there's volatility in the market, as long as there's movement in the market, we can profit from that movement. It does not matter to us if the price of any particular currency pair is going up or coming down. If the pound is getting stronger or weaker, it makes no difference to us whatsoever, because what we do is that we place a buy in the market when the pound is going stronger, and we place a sell in the market when the pound is getting weaker. We long and short our positions, so effectively it makes no difference to us what is happening in the markets, certainly when it comes to the strength of any particular currency. Now, at the moment, we've just been sort of easing out of a pandemic here in the UK, and many people in the last 1 year, in fact, in over a year, many people, in fact, and now millions around the world have lost their jobs. Millions of businesses have become bankrupt in the last couple of years. The environment, the economy is not doing great outside, but when it comes to foreign exchange, we have our own economy. I call this our internal economy. This economy is a green economy, which means that it does not make a difference, again, whether there's a pandemic outside, whether the economy is not doing well, if it's suffering, it makes no difference whatsoever to our internal economy, the foreign exchange economy, because we continue to profit. We're making profit day in, day out, more so this year than last year and the year before, because again, like I said earlier, it makes no difference to us what's happening in the external economy. Now, a few years back, my mentor, he said to me, Dr. Jav, if you want to be financially free, if you want to be wealthy, you need to do one of three things. And he mentioned the financial services, real estate or property, and also e-commerce. And luckily for myself, I'm involved in all three of the above. And later during this presentation, I'll also talk about our e-commerce platform, which you can choose to use as well and profit from on a daily basis. Now, the good news is that when it comes to e-commerce and also the foreign exchange market, a lot of this, in fact, 99.99% of this can be done from home. In fact, I'd even say 100%. 100% from home. You can actually trade the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world, and all you need is a mobile phone. As long as you have a mobile phone, a smartphone, whether it's Android or iOS, it makes no difference. As long as you have a smartphone, you can trade the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world. In the last few years, I've traveled all over the place. I've been to about 20, 30 countries. I've been to Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, many countries in Africa, in Europe. I've been to the USA many times, and I've been able to use my phone to run my business regardless of my location. Now, a fair few years ago, my mentor said to me, you need to be vested in each of, the foreign exchange market, if you can, the property market, and also e-commerce. And that's what we've been doing. Foreign exchange is big. It's absolutely massive. In fact, up to $6.6 trillion are exchanged via forex every single day. It's not every single week, not every single month, every single day. Up to $6.6 trillion are exchanged via forex. 1 trillion of that is done by banks. So banks collectively, whether it's HSBC, Santander, Royal Bank of Scotland, it makes no difference. Banks collectively make over $1 trillion every single day. It's every single day, Monday to Friday, from the foreign exchange market. My mentor said to me, Dr. Jav, how much money has flown through your bank account in the last decade? In the last decade, how much money have you made on your money? In the last decade, I've made close to zero return on my money in my bank account, because historically bank interest rates have been extremely low. Going forward for the next 5 years, next decade or so, it looks like it's going to follow a similar pattern to the last decade. Interest rates are going to be very low. So savers have actually lost money, because when you take inflation into account and your bank is paying you 0.05% a year, you are effectively losing money on your capital, on your savings, on anything you've got in your current account month upon month. If you want to be financially free, you need to do what the multi-millionaires are doing, what business owners are doing, and that is you are multiplying your money through other measures than a simple bank account. And that is what we do via foreign exchange. And the market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. You can use the foreign exchange market using your mobile phone. And also we have a system known as leverage, whereby you don't even have to use all of your own capital, because your broker, the bank, will actually lend you money. And sometimes this is interest-free depending on which account you open, and you can use that leverage and trade upon it on a daily basis. In addition to foreign exchange, we also do digital currencies. And as we know, Bitcoin is the largest digital currency in the marketplace. It was conceived in 2009 when the price was anywhere from 1 cent to 10 cents or thereabouts. In December 2017, the price of one Bitcoin hit an all-time peak or all-time high of $20,000. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting at around $54,000. Later during this presentation, I'll talk into more detail on cryptocurrencies and also Bitcoin as well, and whether you should start investing in cryptocurrency today. Now, Bitcoin by itself has actually exceeded $1 trillion. The cryptocurrency market collectively has exceeded $2 trillion. In fact, cryptocurrencies collectively are bigger than the largest company in the world. So cryptocurrency as it stands today has a higher market capitalization than Apple, which is the largest company by market worth in the whole entire world. In addition to cryptocurrency, in addition to foreign exchange, we also do something known as high frequency trading. So if you have no patience or very, very little patience, you would use high frequency trading or binary options, and you can actually make money in seconds and minutes. So it's a very, very quick form of utilizing a profit, and many thousands of us use it every single day. As I said earlier, we also have an internet business, and we also can mentor you on how to open up your internet marketing business. And that is done via dropshipping. And dropshipping basically means that you never take hold of the product. So you buy the product from the supplier and you sell the product to the buyer. So, sorry, the customer, yeah. So, and you are the middleman, so you never take hold of the product, you don't need a warehouse, all you do is get the product from A to C, and you sit in the middle as a middleman and you take the profit. So you buy the product cheap, say £1, and you sell the product for £20, and you keep £19 as your profit. Obviously, there's a transaction cost as well, but generally, in a nutshell, that's how it works. And if you've never ever had an e-commerce business before, we have a mentorship program in addition to the foreign exchange program that I'm talking about, whereby we can teach you how to earn an income from home using the internet. So how do we actually work? We actually teach you and train you and mentor you through a system of mentors and educators. Currently, we have over 100 mentors who will teach you and show you how to trade the markets. Very much like I'm speaking to you live on this platform today, we actually trade live every single day, and all you have to do as the trader is copy our trades. So you would place in the beginning the same trades as us, and that's how you will learn, very much like an apprenticeship relationship. So as we place our trades, you will do exactly the same. If you go back to school, your parents, your teachers said to you, do not copy, do not plagiarize. What I'm saying to you is copy us and plagiarize us and do exactly what we do. And what you'll find is that when you repeat what we are doing on any particular strategy, you will also become a very, very good trader, as many of us have become. So the live mentorship program is amazing. Currently, we have in excess of 400,000 traders in over 30 countries around the world, almost 500,000 traders. We are going to hit the 1 million mark by the end of this year. And again, no income claims, but by the end of this year, we will have 1,000 plus six-figure earners within our corporation. So six-figure traders. And we have an amazing platform. One of the systems that we use is Harmonics, and that's what you can see on the screen. Via the Harmonics platform, which you will get access to when you join our program, we will actually give you entry points, a stop loss number, and a take profit number for every single trade that we place. And all you have to do is copy and paste those numbers into an app on your phone. If you know how to download an app to your phone, if you know how to copy and paste, you can trade. We have a learn and earn system, which means that from the outset, from day one, you can effectively earn an income because we're giving you the trades. Until you are ready to take the trades and do your own analysis, we will give you the trades. And all you have to do is copy and paste those trades into an app on your phone. So at the moment, we have an amazing system used by almost 500,000 people all over the world. Now, whether you know it or not, trading is actually 90 to 99% mindset. You can write this down. 90 to 99% of trading is mindset. So a bulk of trading is mindset and not the skill behind it. Because what happens is that many people that try to learn trading from YouTube or other avenues online, they actually fail. In fact, 76% of traders are not profitable. We form the 24% of retail traders that return a profit every single day because we know and understand that mindset is so important. Once your mindset is in control, you will return trades profitably over and over and over again. We've actually partnered up with Bob Proctor. He's one of our mindset coaches, and he teaches us on personal development every single week. And you will get access to Bob Proctor as well when you join the platform, when you've decided to learn to trade with us as well. Later during this presentation, my colleague Mandy will jump on the call and do a live trade if possible, using one of our systems, which is known as Vibrata. It's a scalping system. Now, to get started with us, it's $235 for the Foreign Exchange Academy. That's the first one you can see on the screen. If you only want to learn how to do binary options and high frequency trading, it's the same price. And again, the same price again, if you only want to learn how to trade cryptocurrencies. If you want to do all of the above, it's $325 to get started. There's a monthly fee as well, but we have a system in place whereby you can waive that fee. So you can actually learn how to trade the biggest and most liquid currency markets in the world for just $200 to $300. I don't know any other system in the world that allows you, that gives you that quality of education and mentorship for such an amazing price. If you only want to learn how to do e-commerce, set up your e-commerce store, do drop shipping, then the price for that is $325 as well. If you go for the basic Foreign Exchange Academy and you want to learn how to scalp the market as well, you can add Vibrata to your platform. If you want to add cryptocurrencies as well, then Swipecoin would be the package for you. There's quite a few packages here. I'm not going to go into too much detail on these packages, but my recommendation for you is to turn back to the person that brought you onto this webinar, and they can explain these packages in a little bit more detail. My favorite package is actually the Elite Academy, and that covers all of the tools that I showed you earlier. Now, to waive your monthly fee, we have a 2 and free system. It's an affiliate scheme whereby if you recommend 2 people to the platform and they join us and they start trading with us as well, then you don't need to pay the monthly fee. So you've actually learned how to trade the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world for just $200 to $300. How amazing is that? Well, what I want to do now is turn to my colleague Mandeep, who's one of our senior traders. She is also financially free and been trading now for several years, and she will give you a rundown on one of our systems known as Vibrata. So Mandeep, are you on the call?
Yes, Dr. Jav, I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Yes, all good, all good. So thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. So ladies and gents, my name is Mandeep. I come from, England. You can tell by the accent, of course. And I started this wonderful business. Literally 3 years ago. And the reason for that is because I was working in the corporate world and I was just fed up. I mean, look at your life today. Look at your life right now. You've probably come in from work, you've logged on to this presentation, you're tired, you want to sit down, you want to eat and rest and everything else. But I was in that same position. And what I found was I was constantly waiting on a paycheck. I was constantly waiting to have a holiday. I was always waiting to do something exciting. And it got me thinking, I do not want to have to wait on someone else to give me a wage. I do not want to have to wait for someone else to say, okay, you know what, you're allowed this many holidays at this time. And then, oh, actually, you know what, we need to change the shift because this person's on this leave or that holiday leave. And you know, they're doing their own thing, so you need to switch the holidays around. I thought this is too much of a headache because life was constantly on a very rigid plan. You know, if you think about it, most people spend their time at work during their lifetime. You know, the average working hour week is 9 to 5, which is 40 hours a week. So in that 40 hours, if you're in a job or a business that you don't like or is not producing the results, looking at something different that can create that passive income is really powerful. And ladies and gents, I'm really proud to say that within 15 months, I left my job. And that was due to this platform, because I found that, you know, the money I was making, it was exceeding what I was making at work. So I thought, you know what, why not? And I remember walking into work one day and handing in my notice to say, you know what, thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Manager, but I am going to look at other ways of making an income. And I was doing this platform part-time whilst I was working. And I remember feeling tired and exhausted and all the rest of it. But to be honest, I didn't want to feel that way until the age of 68. I mean, let's face the facts, ladies and gents. Not a lot of people, you know, have that time and that money to enjoy what they want to be able to do in their own time. You know, you might be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, but, you know, there was a couple of questions that even my mentor asked me that I'm going to ask you. Okay, they're hard-hitting questions, so be ready. You don't have to answer in the chat box, but they're just to get you thinking. Number one, what is your net worth? Seriously, what is your net worth today as it stands on the, what day is it today? On the 28th of April, 2021. What are you worth today on pen and paper? Okay, so that was the first question my mentor asked me. The second question was, what has been your percentage increase in earnings since the beginning of this year? Wasn't a great figure, not for me anyway. And then the third question was, Mandeep, in the last 10 years that you've been working in the corporate world, how much of that money that has flown through your bank account have you multiplied? And again, it wasn't a great figure. So these questions, they really get you thinking about, right, these are the facts and figures. What are you going to do about it? And honestly, this platform is really, really fantastic in helping people to understand how money works. It's not taught in colleges. It's not taught in schools. It's not taught in universities. Graduates today do not leave their you know, university careers feeling confident about money. In fact, they leave with a lot of debt and scrambling, you know, for scrimping and saving for, you know, for things and a house and getting a job. And why should it be that way? You know, we're not taught a certain way about money. And this, what I see in this platform, is a problem to a world-class solution to empower people, whatever your age, background, race, religion, or creed, is to empower you to think about how money works. Is to the ability to enable you to compound money, whatever your money, because let me tell you something, your money's no good sitting in the bank. Our money money is like an energy. It needs to be circulating all the time, whether it's in an investment or, I don't know, maybe you might have invested in crypto or whatever it is you're doing. You want to make sure your money is flowing all the time. Now, speaking of flow and money and all the rest of it, that's all great stuff. But I'm going to show you one of the strategies that I actually teach on a Thursday. And I absolutely love this strategy because literally within 4 steps, you can understand how a strategy within the forex industry works. And it's actually not as complicated as you may think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly share my screen and you can actually see how this really works over here. Now, I actually took this trade earlier today. Okay, this was probably about this point here. So it's sort of about sort of 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. And as you can see, the market has dropped. Okay, the market has dropped, which means, you know, whether you're buying or selling forex currencies in the market, you are going to make money. But I just kind of wanted to share this with you because this is a perfect example of how this works. And these scanners are very accurate, well, about 75 to 80% accurate. And, you know, by applying 4 steps or, you know, the strategies that we teach you, you can make money from your phone and the comfort of your home as well. So look how simple this is. I want you to look at this graph here of USD Canadian dollars. That's US dollar Canadian dollar. And it's coming as a sell. And you can see right here, it came in as a sell about 1 hour and 13 minutes ago, and it's coming on the 15-minute time frame. So we've selected 15 minutes, and we're going to be having a look at these three lines here. You've got the blue, the red, and the green. So question number one, now you don't need to know anything about forex, by the way, to actually answer these questions, but question number one, is there a crossover between the red and the blue line outside of the cloud? And if I get rid of these candlesticks, you can see quite clearly there's definitely a crossover right there. The cloud, by the way, is the purple shaded area. So that's perfect. Step number one is a yes. Step number two, current price must be 10 pips below the cloud. Now, pips is the movement in the market. Okay, so 10 movements is 10 pips. Right now, this price is about 8.5 pips away from the clouds. It's 1.5 pips away from where we want it to be. So that step isn't quite there. Step number three, red line must be below the blue line, which it definitely is. You can see that right here. The red is below the blue. And finally, it says green line must be pointing down. Why does it need to point down? It's because this currency pair came in as a sell. So we want the market to be moving down as much as possible. But as you can see, this particular pair, it probably came in around this point here. Okay, if I just thicken that line, it probably got called in at around here. And you can actually see that, you know, this has been quite accurate in helping to predict a sell into the market. So what does that translate in monetary terms? Well, let's have a look at it. And of course, we're not making any income claims here on these calls. This is literally just to give you an overview and a guideline of what could potentially be the earnings if you were to catch 10 pips. So remember, 10 pips is the movement in the market. If you put in £1 a pip, you would have made £10 for catching those 10 pips. Say if you put £10 per movement or per pip, that's £100. And what if it was £100 per movement? That's £1,000 to you, which you didn't go to your boss for, you didn't give your service for, you didn't give your time for, you literally made it following steps from the comfort of your home. Trust me, this is easy. If someone like me can get it and 500,000 other customers who are doing this exact same thing across the world, then trust me, you can also get that as well. Now, the second thing I want to show you is basically how the Academy actually looks when you come in to the platform. So I always recommend the elite package to everyone because I believe it has the maximum products and income available to you. So if I click on strategies, you can see everything is highlighted here. I've got the forex. You can see I just showed you vibrato right there. That was the tool that we used about a minute ago. And I can trade gold. So there's a lot of things that I can trade. If I wanted to go into making money in minutes, which is what Dr. Jav spoke about, that's high frequency forex. I've also got the ability to click in here, click on a scanner and start analyzing what I need to do. Now, these are not as scary as they seem, by the way, as they look. They're very, very simple once you start breaking them down. And of course, digital currencies, again, if you're someone who's a crypto fan, you can basically start to understand how crypto is working. And honestly, these scanners are brilliant. They're not available anywhere else, but they really, really do provide you with that understanding of how you can make money. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is compounding. So hopefully you can all see my screen here. But say if you started off with $200 and you're compounding that 3% every day for the next 7 months, which is 140 days, and you do that, you don't withdraw any of your profits. You do it Monday to Friday, excluding the weekends. Now, this is literally insane. I want you to really have a look at this figure. From $200, you have now ended up with a sum total of over $12,500. How is that possible? Let me show you the evidence. If I scroll down here, this timetable actually calculates every single day for the next 7 months. So by the time it comes to, well, sort of mid-November, you're pretty much sitting on 5 figures. So 3% of $200 is 206. 3% of that is 212, and so on and so forth. So by the time you get to day 55, over here, you're on 4 figures. You've made 4 figures from $200. And by the time you get to day 140, your 12,000 is there. Now, say if you're not a great trader or you don't win every trade, which is the case, you're not going to win every trade. But say if you let's be a bit conservative here. Let's say you were really not that great, but you won 40 to 50% of your trades. Would you be happy with half of that? With $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 between now and November? Is your job going to give you that pay rise? Is your business going to give you that pay rise? So honestly, ladies and gents, we teach you what I call the magic formula, which is compounding. And honestly, this platform is changing so many lives. You've got to ask yourself, are you going to be the next one whose life wants to be changed? So with that being said, ladies and gents, my name is Mandy, and I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. Jav. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Mandy. That was absolutely amazing. And that was the lovely Mandy. She's one of our senior traders. And that was a live demonstration on the vibrator tool, which is our scalp. So if I just pull the presentation up again and continue with that. Now, I was talking about the 2 and 3 scheme that we have. So once you recommend 2 people to the organization, you do not need to pay the monthly fee. So for a couple of $100, $300, you can learn how to trade the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world. Now, if you choose, this is purely optional, to recommend additional people, the organization IM Academy will pay you a bonus. So for the FRX Academy, High Frequency Academy, and the Digital Academy recommendations, they will pay you $25. Should you recommend someone to the Elite Academy, you get a $50 fast start bonus. Once you recommended 3 people to the organization and they are actively trading with us, you will then be paid $150 every single month. For 12 recommendations, you get $600. For 30 recommendations, $1,000 every single month. Now, the great news is you don't have to recommend all those people yourself. As long as you've recommended 3 people and they are active paying customers, any additional people that those customers recommend will also count as the collective. So 30 people within your collective organization, you're now making $1,000 every single month. And this goes all the way up to Chairman 750, where you're making $750,000 every single month. Now, some of you may think, how is that possible? But trust me, we have people within our organization today making in excess of $750,000 every single month. And the good news is that the income, the residuals that you earn from the recommendation, from the affiliate income, you can pump that into your trading account, or you can go out and live on it as well. So effectively, you're pure compounding now. So you pay the first month's fee, and then following that, once you have people within your organization, you can actually use that income in your trading account, so you don't ever need to put any money into your trading account ever again. Now, I've talked about cryptocurrency earlier during this presentation, and I just want to give you a quick lowdown on what's happening in the market at the moment. Now, Bitcoin, I talked about earlier, this is the largest cryptocurrency in the market, and at the moment, the price of Bitcoin is around $54,000 on the Coinbase exchange. The price of Bitcoin, again, looking at this chart here, hit a peak of $65,000 approximately on, well, actually, it was just a few weeks ago, 12th of April, 2021, the price, in fact, let's just pan it, I can give you the exact date. Yes, it was on the 12th of April, 2021, the price of Bitcoin hit a price of around $65,000. And that was the all-time high of Bitcoin, $65,000. Since then, the price has dropped. Many of you may be thinking, hold on, the price has come down. Surely this is a bubble, it's going to burst and we're going to lose all our money. The good news is, as short-term traders, it makes no difference to us if the price of cryptocurrency goes up or comes down, because we place longs and shorts in the market. Now, if I pan back in this graph and show you what happened just a few years ago, you can see the other major peak. This occurred in December 2017, when the price of Bitcoin hit around $20,000. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin, we have something known as Bitcoin halving. That basically means that the supply to the market halves every 4 or so years. Now, the prior Bitcoin halving occurred in 2016. And since then, we can see what happened. The price of Bitcoin shot through the roof. Following that Bitcoin halving, we had another halving, which occurred last year. And since then, you can see the price of Bitcoin has gone up again. So generally, whenever there's a Bitcoin halving in the market, the price of Bitcoin starts to go up. And we're seeing the same again as we saw in December 2017. Again, in December 2017, the price hit $20,000. And again, from around $3,000 just a few months prior. That's a ×7 multiple. So the price has gone up by around 7 times. And again, currently, the price of Bitcoin today is $55,000, $54,000. And if you, again, go back a little bit, you'll see that the price of Bitcoin was hovering around $9,000, $10,000, $11,000 just a few months back. In fact, in December 2020, the price of Bitcoin was $20,000. And today is ×2 of what it was then. At the moment, looking at this graph, having done our analysis, we feel that the price of Bitcoin will hit around $200,000, and it could do it this year. $200,000 for one Bitcoin. So if you bought one Bitcoin today for $54,000, $55,000, and sat on that Bitcoin for a few months, you could be looking at a profit of around $150,000. And all you've done is buy Bitcoin once and then sell it when the price is high. Now, again, like I said before, it doesn't matter to us if the price of Bitcoin is going up or if the price is coming down. It makes no difference whatsoever, because what we do is that we actually go long and short in the market. So it does not matter to us in the short term what's happening to the price of Bitcoin. So if I just show you the cryptocurrency, one of our scalpers here, you can see that we actually give out signals. We'll tell you to buy in the market when the price we feel is going to go up, and we'll tell you to sell in the market. And as you can see here, we put a buy in the market here and the price went up, and we put a sell trade in the market and the price came down. So these are trading ideas or signals, and effectively these are 75 to 85% profitable. So 7 to 8 out of 10 times you will make profit on these signals. At the moment, we have a sell in the market, which basically means that we feel that the price of Bitcoin is going to come down, and you can see that after the sell signal came out, the price of Bitcoin came down in the market. We don't just do this for Bitcoin, we also do it for Ethereum as well. And again, very similar to what I showed you earlier, we have signals every few hours. At the moment, the latest signal was actually a buy in the market. And as you can see here, and following that buy signal, the market went up. So had you placed that signal, had you placed the trade at that point when the price was around, looking at this, around 2,600, it went up to a peak of 2,700. So $100+ in just a few hours, you would have made money. And we don't just trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, we also do other altcoins as well. So we have Ripple, Ethereum I've talked about earlier, but a fair few other coins as well. At the moment, as it stands, there's 9,500, almost 9,500 altcoins in the marketplace. You don't have to trade them all, but we will actually show you how to read the charts and place your own trades independently. Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency. It has a market capitalization currently of in excess of $1 trillion. The total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies is in excess of $2 trillion. If you look at the volume in the last 24 hours, $146 billion worth of cryptocurrency was exchanged in the last 24 hours. Compare that to foreign exchange, where we have up to $6.6 trillion every single day. And you can see that cryptocurrency is still a baby. There's room for growth as more and more people come into and learn about cryptocurrency, as there's mass adoption, as more and more corporates buy into cryptocurrencies, you'll see the prices go up steadily. My name is Dr. Jav. I hope you enjoyed this short webinar. My recommendation for you now is to go back to the person who asked you to attend this webinar and let's get you started. Once you register onto our platform, you will be assigned a mentor and we'll talk you through how to use the platform and how to learn how to trade the largest and most liquid currency markets in the world. Again, my name is Dr. Jav. Let's help you to multiply your money every single day, like the banks do and have been doing for the last, in fact, since the beginning of banks. We'll show you how to work like a bank. And again, my name is Dr. Jav. Go back to the person who recommended you attend this call and we'll get you started very, very soon. Thank you for your time. God bless. And I'll see you on the next webinar.